I thought I'd do a video on the hidden costs of cruising. Now, there's some things that you don't consider. You think that you've paid your money for the cruise, it's all included. Yes and no. Things like shore excursions, which if it's your first cruise or first couple of cruises, I'd definitely do them through the cruise line. They are expensive, but around the $150 mark is what you'd expect for a shore tour, but they do get down to $30 and $50, so it just depends on what you actually want, if you want a full day shore tour or not. But I definitely use the cruise ship shore tours. Alternative dining. Now, they do have usually 2 specialty restaurants on a cruise ship. I've only been on P&O and on Carnival, and I've found that the price ranges from $20 up to about $50 depending on the restaurant. You can always eat at the restaurant that's on board anyway, but if you want specialty dining, you do have to pay for it. Alcohol and other beverages. This is a bit of a chestnut for some people. They believe that the alcohol is expensive, but I don't drink, so I can't really complain. But a cocktail will be about $10 to $15 and a beer around the $10 mark. So there may be $8, but $8 to $10 is what a beer will cost you on board. So it's just a thing that you need to take into consideration. Soft drinks, I found more than reasonable, because a can of Coke, I've never paid more than $3 for a can of Coke, which I think is quite reasonable on a cruise ship. I mean, they have to transport them, keep them cold and sell them to you, and for $3 I think it's pretty good value. Spa and salon treatments. Now, believe it or not, I'm not into spas or salon treatments, but they do cost and they are expensive. But if you'd like that sort of thing, by all means, just know that you're going to pay. I have no idea about the prices, but at the time when I looked at them, I was pretty stunned with how expensive they were. So they are expensive, so it's just something to consider. Onboard activities. P&O has an Edge program, and they have car racing simulators like Formula 1 racing simulators, and the Edge, where you go on the Flying Fox all the way across down to the other side of the deck. So we've got indoor rock climbing on the ship's funnel. So they've got plenty of different things. They are not included in your price. You're going to have to pay for them, but I don't think that it's unreasonably priced. Laundry. Now, I can't live without going to the laundry, and have plenty of $1 and $2 coins with you, because I wouldn't use the ship's laundry in the sense of put my washing out to be processed by the ship, and I just go and do it in the laundry that's on board. It's just coin operated, but definitely worth taking less and washing, rather than taking so much that you're having to find places to put all the stuff. Tipping. On Royal Caribbean, you have to tip. Now, this is what's put me off Royal Caribbean, is that there's a gratuity that's included every day, where you pay every day per person, per cabin. I won't go on Royal Caribbean because of it. I use P&O or Carnival, where I don't have compulsory tipping. Having said that, you can turn the tips off on Royal Caribbean. Ballpark figure, it's about $11 a day per person, per cabin. Now, to me, that's just ridiculous. You either pay it in the cost of your ticket or you don't. I'm just Australian, so I don't tip. I disagree with it, and I'll leave it at that. Shopping on board and in port. You're just going to have to consider that you're going to have to pay for things like what you just buy normally in a shop on board, like toothpaste, toothbrush if you've forgotten it, because you're always going to have forgotten something. But they do have an essentials store there. I think it's called Essentials on P&O, where you can pick up a hairbrush, toothpaste, toothbrush, as I said before, little odds and ends that you've forgotten. But you're going to have cash with you and put it on your sale and sign card, and it's just another expense that you will have forgotten about. Photographs and camera equipment. Now, the photographs on board, people love them. I hate them because I think they're expensive, but I'm a tight ass, and look, I'm happy with taking my own photos, but by all means, they've got professional photographers there. If you've got the whole family together and it's a formal night, why not get a photo taken? I mean, the cost of it is probably around the $15-20 mark, I believe, but you can have as many photos taken as you want, and you know, you're just going to have to pick which is best for you and pay for it. Internet and phone. The internet is expensive. I think it's $55 for 40 minutes or something like that. I think you'd pay $75 for 120 minutes, but I use the internet rather than my phone. It's just an additional expense, but the internet is terribly slow, and when I say terribly slow, it's slower than dial-up in my opinion. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I take my laptop anyway, but I type all of my emails, then connect to the internet just to send them, and that's the way to go, and to keep the price down on that. They do have, you can use the telephone on in your cabin, but I believe that's $3-4 a minute. I take my mobile phone and send text messages as well. It's called cellular at sea. I know that Optus do it for prepaid. I'm not sure of any other carrier that allows you to use cellular. You know what? Your phone at sea. Okay. I believe Optus are the only ones that do prepaid for that, but other carriers will allow you to use that service if you are on a plan. But check with your carrier. Even with Optus, I found that half the people didn't even know that cellular at sea, or maritime roaming is what they call it, even exists. So you've got absolute knuckleheads that are going to tell you no, it can't be done. Look, everyone does it, so just have a look at it, and it's an additional cost. I found that the text messages when I use my own phone at sea are around the 75-cent mark. Sometimes they've been 50 cents, so it just depends on. You're going to have to look into it yourself, but allow a bit of a budget for that. I get a $100 recharge. I still use the internet and my mobile phone. It's just I've got kids, and one lot in email me, and the other lot send me text messages every 5 seconds. So just something that you consider. I hope this video has helped out. Just a few additional costs that aren't included in the price of your ticket.
Please like, comment and subscribe.